Have you ever woken up feeling stiff, sluggish, or just not quite yourself? Maybe you reach for your morning coffee, hoping it'll wake you up, but somehow, you still feel drained. If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. As we age, mornings can feel a little tougher than they used to. But what if I told you that the way you start your day could be the key to not just feeling better, but living longer? Scientists have been studying people who live past 100, and guess what? Many of them have simple morning habits that help keep their minds sharp, their bodies strong, and their hearts happy. These aren't complicated routines that require hours of your time. They're small, doable changes that can add years, maybe even decades, to your life. And today, we're diving into 7 of them. Let's start with something that might surprise you. Have you ever noticed how easy it is to jump straight into the day without really thinking about your body? Maybe you roll out of bed, shuffle to the kitchen, and sit down without a second thought. But here's the thing, your body has just spent hours lying still. Your muscles are tight, your joints need a little oiling, and your circulation is still waking up. One of the best things you can do the moment you wake up is to stretch, gently, slowly, and with intention. It doesn't have to be a full yoga session. Even a few minutes of reaching your arms overhead, rolling your shoulders, and stretching your legs can do wonders. Why? Because stretching improves circulation, wakes up your muscles, and even reduces stiffness that could lead to falls later in the day. Think about it like this: a car that sits in the garage for months without running will have trouble starting. The oil settles, the battery weakens, and things just don't work as smoothly. Your body is the same way. A quick stretch in the morning is like turning the engine on and letting it warm up before hitting the road. Now, if you really want to boost the benefits of stretching, there's something else you can add: deep breathing. I know. Breathing is something we do without thinking. But did you know that most of us take shallow breaths throughout the day? We don't fully expand our lungs, and over time, that can lower our oxygen levels and even increase stress. Try this tomorrow morning. Before you even get out of bed, take a deep breath in through your nose. Feel your belly rise, your ribs expand, and your chest fill with air. Hold it for a second, then slowly let it out through your mouth. Do that a few times, and you'll be amazed at how awake and refreshed you feel. It's like giving your brain a shot of pure energy, without the caffeine. Speaking of energy, let's talk about another habit that's easy to overlook. When was the last time you stepped outside first thing in the morning? If you're like most people, your morning might start indoors, getting dressed, making breakfast, maybe watching the news. But here's the secret: getting natural sunlight in the morning can actually help reset your body's internal clock, boost your mood, and even improve your sleep at night. Sunlight tells your brain, hey, it's time to wake up. It helps regulate melatonin, the hormone that controls your sleep-wake cycle. That means if you struggle with falling asleep or waking up feeling groggy, just 10 minutes of morning sunlight can make a huge difference. So tomorrow, instead of reaching for your phone first thing, try stepping outside for a few minutes. Breathe in the fresh air, let the sunlight hit your skin, and notice how much more awake you feel. It's a simple habit, but it's one that people in the longest living communities swear by. And that brings us to something even more important: movement. Have you ever noticed how kids wake up and instantly start moving? They stretch, they jump, they run around. As adults, we tend to lose that instinct. But staying active in the morning doesn't just help you feel more energized, it actually plays a huge role in longevity. Studies have found that people who live the longest often start their mornings with movement. It doesn't have to be intense exercise. In fact, gentle activities like walking, tai chi, or even gardening can have incredible benefits. Movement keeps your joints flexible, your heart strong, and your muscles engaged, so you stay independent and mobile for years to come. Think about the last time you had a morning where you moved more than usual. Maybe you went for a short walk or did some light stretching. How did you feel for the rest of the day? More awake? More alert? That's no coincidence. Moving in the morning sets the tone for the rest of the day, making it easier to stay active and engaged. And here's something even more surprising: morning movement doesn't just help your body. It helps your brain, too. Research has shown that physical activity in the morning improves memory, focus, and even lowers the risk of cognitive decline. Imagine waking up, stretching your body, taking deep breaths, stepping outside for some sunlight, and moving just a little bit. Feels pretty good, doesn't it? And that's just the beginning. Once you've given your body that gentle wake-up with stretching, deep breathing, and a little movement, you've already set yourself up for a better day. But there's another crucial thing to think about: what goes into your body first thing in the morning. A lot of people wake up and immediately reach for a cup of coffee. And while there's nothing wrong with enjoying a cup of coffee, there's something else your body is craving even more: water. Think about it. You've just gone 6, maybe 8 hours without drinking anything. Your body is dehydrated, and that dehydration can make you feel tired, foggy, and even achy. Before you take that first sip of coffee, try drinking a full glass of water. Better yet, make it warm water with a squeeze of fresh lemon. Why lemon? Well, besides giving the water a refreshing taste, lemon helps flush out toxins, supports digestion, and even gives you a small boost of vitamin C. It's a simple habit, but it can do wonders for your hydration, energy levels, and even your skin. Now, let's talk about breakfast. There's an old saying that breakfast is the most important meal of the day. And while that's not entirely true for everyone, what you eat in the morning does play a huge role in how you feel and function. Some people start their mornings with sugary cereals, pastries, or white bread toast. The problem? These foods cause a quick spike in blood sugar, followed by a crash that leaves you feeling sluggish and hungry again soon after. Instead, the best breakfasts for longevity are packed with protein, fiber, and healthy fats. Think about a bowl of oatmeal topped with nuts and berries, a veggie-packed omelet, or even a smoothie with greens, protein, and a little fruit. These kinds of breakfasts don't just keep you full longer, they also support brain health, balance blood sugar, and reduce inflammation, which is a key factor in aging. And here's something interesting: many of the longest living people in the world actually eat a lighter breakfast and a bigger lunch. In places like Okinawa, Japan, and Sardinia, Italy, where people often live past 100, they start the day with simple, nutrient-dense meals like miso soup, vegetables, or whole grains. It's not about eating less, it's about eating smarter. Giving your body the right fuel in the morning can make all the difference in how you feel throughout the day. Now that we've talked about nourishing the body, let's talk about something just as important: nourishing the mind. How do you usually start your mornings? Do you turn on the news right away? Check your phone? Read through emails? While staying informed is important, bombarding yourself with stressful information first thing in the morning can set a negative tone for the entire day. Instead, consider creating a morning ritual that feeds your mind with something positive. Maybe it's reading a few pages of a good book, listening to uplifting music, or even practicing gratitude. Taking just a few minutes to focus on what you're thankful for can shift your mindset and improve your mood. People who live the longest often have a strong sense of purpose. They wake up each day with something to look forward to, whether it's tending to their garden, connecting with family, or engaging in a hobby they love. So ask yourself, what's one thing you can do in the morning that brings you joy? Maybe it's writing in a journal, doing a crossword puzzle, or simply sitting outside with a cup of tea. Small moments of joy add up over time, and they can make a huge difference in not just how long you live, but how well you live. The way you start your morning truly sets the tone for the rest of the day. And when you stack these habits together, hydrating, eating well, moving your body, and feeding your mind, you're not just adding years to your life. You're adding life to your years. Once your morning is started on the right foot with hydration, nourishing foods, and a positive mindset, the next key to longevity is movement. But not just any movement: intentional, mindful activity that keeps your body strong, flexible, and resilient as you age. Now, here's something surprising. Many people think that to stay fit and healthy, they need to hit the gym for intense workouts. But the longest living people in the world don't do that. Instead, they engage in natural movement throughout the day, things like walking, gardening, stretching, or even just standing up and moving regularly instead of sitting for long periods. Walking, in particular, is one of the most powerful habits for longevity. Studies show that people who walk regularly, especially at a brisk pace, live longer, have sharper minds, and maintain their independence far longer than those who are sedentary. And the best part? You don't need to walk for hours. Just 30 minutes a day, preferably outside in fresh air and natural sunlight, can make a tremendous difference in your health. Speaking of sunlight, this brings us to another simple but powerful habit: getting morning sun. When you step outside in the morning and let natural light hit your skin and eyes, it does more than just feel good. It helps regulate your circadian rhythm, the internal clock that controls your sleep, energy levels, and even metabolism. Many older adults struggle with sleep issues, and one big reason is not getting enough natural light during the day. Exposure to morning sunlight helps signal to your body that it's time to be awake, which in turn helps you feel sleepy at the right time later in the evening. It also boosts serotonin levels, the hormone that improves mood and reduces stress. So, if you can, take your morning routine outside. Drink your coffee or tea on the porch, take a short walk, or simply sit by a window and soak up the natural light. Even just 10 to 15 minutes can have a huge impact on your overall health and well-being. But let's not forget about another essential part of a long and healthy life: social connection. Loneliness is one of the biggest health risks for older adults, yet it often goes unnoticed. Studies have shown that social isolation can be just as harmful as smoking or obesity when it comes to shortening lifespan. That's because meaningful relationships help reduce stress, keep the brain engaged, and give life a sense of purpose. That's why, as part of your morning routine, consider adding in a small but powerful habit: reaching out to someone. It could be a quick phone call, a message to a friend, or even a short chat with a neighbor. The simple act of connecting with another person can boost your mood and set a positive tone for the rest of the day. In cultures where people live the longest, strong social ties are a common factor. In Okinawa, Japan, for example, elders belong to a moai, a small social group that supports each other for life. In Sardinia, Italy, older adults are deeply integrated into their communities, often spending mornings chatting with friends or enjoying meals with family. You don't have to have a huge social circle to reap the benefits. Even one or two strong relationships can make a world of difference. And if you feel like your social connections have faded over time, it's never too late to rebuild them. Volunteering, joining a local club, or even just making an effort to check in on someone regularly can add years to your life, both in quantity and quality. So, as you move through your morning, remember this: longevity isn't just about what you eat, how you move, or even how much you sleep. It's about how you feel, how connected you are, and how much joy you bring into your daily life. And the best part? It's never too late to start. By now, you've built a morning routine that supports your body, mind, and spirit. You're nourishing yourself with the right foods, staying active, soaking up the morning sun, and strengthening your social connections. But there's another essential habit that often goes overlooked, one that can add years to your life and dramatically improve the quality of each day. And that is the power of purpose. Think about this for a moment. Have you ever noticed that people who live the longest aren't just surviving, they're thriving? They wake up each morning with a reason to get out of bed, something that excites them, challenges them, or simply brings them joy. Researchers studying centenarians, people who live to 100 and beyond, have found that having a strong sense of purpose is a key factor in longevity. In Japan, they call it ikigai, the thing that gives your life meaning. Now, ikigai doesn't have to be something grand or complicated. It's not about having a huge goal or a lifelong mission. It's about the little things that make life fulfilling. For some, it's tending to a garden, painting, or playing music. For others, it's spending time with grandchildren, volunteering, or simply having a daily ritual that brings joy, like writing in a journal or feeding the birds outside. The important thing is to find something that makes you feel engaged with life, something that makes you look forward to the day. And if you feel like you don't have that yet, don't worry. It's never too late to discover new interests, pick up a hobby, or even reconnect with something you used to love but set aside over the years. One simple way to build this into your morning routine is to ask yourself one question: what is one thing I'm excited about today? It could be as simple as enjoying a cup of coffee while watching the sunrise, calling a friend, or working on a project. Training your mind to focus on these small moments of purpose can shift your entire outlook on life. But purpose isn't just about what you do, it's also about how you think. Another powerful longevity habit is practicing gratitude. Centenarians often have an incredible ability to find joy in the simple things. They don't dwell on regrets or worry too much about the future. Instead, they appreciate the present moment. Studies have shown that practicing gratitude can lower stress, improve heart health, and even boost the immune system. And it's incredibly easy to do. Each morning, before you start your day, take a moment to think of 3 things you're grateful for. They don't have to be big things. It could be the warmth of the sun on your face, a good night's sleep, or the sound of laughter from a loved one. If you want to take it a step further, consider keeping a small gratitude journal. Writing down what you're thankful for each day can rewire your brain to focus on the positives in life. And the more you focus on gratitude, the more you'll start to notice the good things all around you, things you might have overlooked before. Now, let's talk about another simple but life-changing morning habit: deep breathing. It sounds almost too simple, right? But most people go through their day taking shallow breaths, never fully using their lungs. This not only reduces oxygen flow to the brain and body, but can also contribute to stress, fatigue, and even high blood pressure. One of the easiest ways to calm the mind and energize the body is to take a few minutes each morning to practice deep breathing. A simple method is the 4-7-8 technique. Breathe in through your nose for 4 seconds, hold for 7 seconds, and exhale slowly through your mouth for 8 seconds. Doing this for just a few minutes can lower cortisol levels, improve focus, and set a peaceful tone for the rest of your day. Breathwork is a powerful tool that many long-lived cultures use, even if they don't call it that. In Okinawa, Japan, elders practice deep breathing and gentle movement through traditional martial arts and Tai Chi. In India, yogis have long understood the connection between breath and longevity. And in many Mediterranean countries, where people live well into their 90s and 100s, they instinctively take deep, relaxed breaths while enjoying their daily routines. If you ever find yourself feeling anxious or overwhelmed, remember that something as simple as slowing down and taking a deep breath can reset your entire nervous system. At this point, your morning has been transformed into something truly powerful. It's no longer just about waking up and going through the motions, it's about setting yourself up for a longer, healthier, and more fulfilling life. And the best part? None of these habits require extreme effort. They're simple, natural, and easy to incorporate into your daily routine. By now, you've built a morning routine that not only supports your physical health but also strengthens your mind and spirit. You've learned how small, intentional habits, like movement, deep breathing, and practicing gratitude, can create a powerful foundation for a longer, healthier life. But there's one more habit that ties everything together, and it might be the most important one of all: how you start your day mentally. The thoughts you have in the morning set the tone for the rest of your day. If you wake up feeling stressed, rushed, or overwhelmed, that energy follows you into everything you do. But if you take a moment to frame your day with a positive mindset, it can shift your entire experience of life. This isn't just about thinking happy thoughts, it's about training your brain to focus on what truly matters. One of the best ways to do this is through a simple morning affirmation practice. Now, if you've never tried affirmations before, don't worry, it's nothing complicated or mystical. It's simply a way of reminding yourself of what's possible and reinforcing a mindset that supports your well-being. For example, instead of waking up and thinking, "I'm getting older, and my body isn't what it used to be," you could start your morning by saying, "I am grateful for my body and all the things it allows me to do today." Instead of saying, "Life is stressful," you could remind yourself, "I am strong, capable, and ready to embrace whatever comes my way." It might feel a little unusual at first, but the more you practice this, the more natural it becomes. And over time, your brain starts to believe the things you tell it. Research has shown that positive self-talk can lower stress, boost the immune system, and even improve heart health. And the best part? It takes less than a minute each morning. Another way to cultivate a positive mindset is by surrounding yourself with uplifting influences. The people you interact with, the music you listen to, the shows you watch, all of these things shape your thoughts and emotions. Have you ever noticed that after spending time with a negative person, you feel drained? Or that watching the news first thing in the morning can leave you feeling anxious or upset? That's because your brain absorbs the energy of whatever you expose it to. This doesn't mean ignoring reality or pretending that bad things don't happen. But it does mean being mindful of what you allow into your mental space. Instead of starting your day with negative news or social media, consider listening to something uplifting, a favorite song, a motivational podcast, or even just the sounds of nature outside your window. And most importantly, be intentional about the people you spend your time with. The longest living people in the world all have one thing in common: strong social connections. They make it a point to spend time with loved ones, share meals together, and stay engaged in their communities. Even if you live alone, there are so many ways to cultivate connection: calling a friend, joining a local group, or even just chatting with a neighbor. Loneliness is one of the biggest risk factors for poor health as we age, but it's also one of the easiest things to change. A simple morning habit, like sending a quick message to a friend or planning a short visit with someone, can bring more joy and meaning into your day. So now, let's take a step back and look at everything you've built. Your mornings are no longer just about getting through the day. They've become a time of renewal, a time to nourish your body, uplift your mind, and set a foundation for a long and fulfilling life. You're moving your body, fueling yourself with good food, soaking in the morning light, breathing deeply, finding purpose, and choosing thoughts that support your well-being. And the best part? None of these habits require huge changes or massive effort. They're small, simple shifts that, when practiced consistently, can add years, maybe even decades, to your life. So as you wake up tomorrow morning, take a deep breath, stretch your body, and remind yourself, today is a gift. And the way you start it shapes everything that follows.